Boom! Welcome back to the Sebs Show, everybody. It's your boy Sebs with co-host Gib, and today we're interviewing one of the top middleweight prospects in the UFC, headlining UFC Bellum on February 3rd against the legendary Lyoto Machida. We have Eryk Anders today. Eryk, how are you, my man?
Man, I'm doing awesome. And yourself?
We're good, man.
Good,
We're
good.
good. We're happy to be talking to you. This is your second time on the show. We're glad to have you on again.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. First question I gotta ask right off the bat because I see it all the time on your on the Instagram over there that you've been training with Wonderboy and Carl Reed. Obviously for the karate for this camp. How's that been going for you?
Man, it went awesome. We went up there for about a week. Him and Machida have a similar but not the same style. So I definitely wanted to go out there and get a look. I think Wonderboy is a little bit more explosive, faster, quicker than Machida is at this point in their career. So it was good to go out there and get a look and see that different tempo change and change of speed.
Yeah, it was great to see you going up there and getting to working with them and working with the legendary Ray Thompson as well. How does it feel, man, knowing that this is like Leota's been talking about retirement for a while now. This potentially his last fight, and it's in Brazil, his hometown as well. If you're potentially ending his career here, how do you feel about that? Obviously, you got to be cold blooded and go in there, but how do you feel about retiring probably one of the legends of the sport?
Um, Man, I don't feel any way about it, and I don't necessarily think he'll retire because of me. But maybe the combination of his last three fights before this one and this one. So, man, I certainly have a lot of respect for the other man. I used to watch him when I was in college before I even thought about doing MMA. He's certainly a legend in the game, and whatever he decides to do after this fight, I wish him well. Should he choose to retire, it's cool. If not, I wish him many more victories except for this one.
Yeah, exactly, my man. How did you go about getting this fight? Because it was pretty quickly after the Marcus Perez fight that they called you for this one. Did your manager just get you the fight rather quickly? Were you ready?
Yeah, absolutely. I live in the gym. I stay in the gym. So, if I'm not at home, I'm at the gym training or doing some kind of cardio or lifting weights or something. So, my body feels good. Didn't take any damage in that Marcus Perez fight. I was ready to fight. I could have fought the next day if I needed to. So, um, you know, uh, shot that half court jumper and calling out Machida, and he answered and the UFC answered. So, here we are, and about 2 weeks away from the fight.
Yeah, that was great, man. For you to call him out as well and get the shot was I was really happy for you, man. That was something I think you deserve after taking out Rafael Natal. I think that you deserve to get another legend. I thought you deserved it after the Natal fight. To fight Perez was a great fight for you, but I think you deserve to keep fighting these big guys, these veterans of the sport. Um,
Oh yeah, and speaking of veterans, you don't have as many fights as a lot of these guys, but you keep a lot of these guys on their back foot, and you keep them very honest with you. I mean, how do you feel about that when you're backing up these guys who have a lot of fights and a lot of experience?
I think they respect my game. And that's just the way I fight. I like to move forward and push the pace, and uh, one of the objectives whenever I fight is to not let them feel comfortable at any point inside those 5 minutes of each round. I think it wears them down a little bit. They're always tense and on the edge because they never know what's going to come, what kind of strikes or takedown attempts or whatnot. So I think that's a very good approach, and it just comes naturally to me. So
It
I
definitely
just like
seems
to
to.
be. What's that?
Oh, it definitely seems to.
Yeah, I just like to be in their face and keep them in that boxing range where I like to play, and from there I can shoot takedowns. I can put them up against the cage. I can really do what I want with them.
When you first started out, how do you feel things changed for you from the first fight into the UFC to the third fight now?
I get better with each fight. I think between Natal and Perez, there's been vast improvement striking, especially with the footwork, um, the up and down feints, and the tricks. Really keeping those guys guessing, so that they really never know what's going to come.
Do you have any advice for anyone who's just kind of coming into the sport? Any guys who are really involved in the training, really involved in the MMA aspect and game, and what to kind of expect when they're going into these fights?
I think that people neglect cardio. Everybody trains striking, everybody wrestles, everybody does jujitsu and whatnot, but and everybody's fresh in that first round. But as the fight continues, you're not gonna be able to put everybody away inside of 2 minutes in the first round. So you definitely got to have that gas tank filled to the brim. I think a lot of guys neglect the cardio aspect of it, and when they're cutting weight, they're training to cut weight instead of training to get better. So nutrition's huge. That certainly helped me from the first fight.
Boom, everyone, welcome back to the Sebs Show. It's your boy Sebs with co-host Gib, and today we're have the pleasure of interviewing Eryk Anders. And actually, something happened yesterday. We were interviewing Eryk Anders. Only caught 6 minutes of the video. Eryk, the mensch he is of himself, a true gentleman, said, "Yep, I'm ready to come back on the show, and I'll shoot the rest of the show." So he's a class act, true gentleman. Very much appreciated, Eryk. Thank you
Thanks
for
so
coming
much.
back on.
Yeah, no problem. My pleasure, fellas.
Thank you again. And so first off, we're gonna ask.
We actually wanted to get back into that question about your nickname, how you went about changing it to from Frankenstein to Yeah Boy.
And when I first started training over at Spartan Fitness, it's not the original gym I trained out of, but for personal reasons, I had to do as best for my career, so I made the switch on over to Spartan. But when I was kind of clumsy on my feet, so I just like fucking stumble forward, and my coach would get mad, and he'd yell, stop stumbling around like a drunk. It looked like Frankenstein. He would say that on a daily basis. So the name Frankenstein just kind of stuck. But then, whenever I taught, I got a little more fluid on my feet, so the Frankenstein thing didn't apply anymore. And then, the way I talk, I'm always like, hey, help your boy out. Can you do this for your boy? And people used to always just laugh at it, and that name just kind of stuck and overtook the Frankenstein name.
I like that
Nice.
story, man. I
Yeah.
like I said yesterday. I like both Frankenstein and Your Boy, but Your Boy is. I feel like it's just like a cool name because it's like you can just say it whenever, like we were
Yeah.
saying, help your boy out, do this for your boy, come watch your boy. It's just it's nice,
Yeah. So it was kind of humorous, and everybody liked it. So, had a lot of good feedback, from fans and whatnot. So, I think your boy is going to be the name forever now.
Nice.
Yeah, I like
Good
that.
change.
Good change. And it's no secret Leota has trouble wrestling. Are you gonna try and clinch and wrestle with him a bit to wear down his movement?
I'm gonna take the fight as it comes. I found that when you try to go into a fight or things like this with the game plan, you kind of have to be open. Maybe have option A, option B, option C. But at the end of the day, the objective is to go out there and get a win. And if I have to wrestle to do that, if I have to wear them out against the cage and beat them up against the cage and in the clinch, I'll do that too. So don't really have a game plan. Just looking to go in there and get a devastating win, and looking for a finish.
Yep, for sure. What do you think makes Leota dangerous? You feel like though?
I think that he's very unorthodox, and not very many people are good or as good at doing what he does. He moves a lot. I think he's got a lot of good spatial awareness. He explodes and comes forward and catches people off guard. I think he kind of lulls people to sleep as he just backs up and moves away, and then boom,
Yeah.
he's in your face. So I think that's most evident against Ryan Bader.
Yes,
Probably
sir.
is one of his more famous knockouts. So just gotta stay awake in there and not get lulled to sleep, and watch out for that left hand.
For sure.
What can we expect in the very first round, first minute, coming into the fight, especially with a guy like Lyoto? And what exactly do you bring that not a lot of the opponents coming in brought exactly to Lyoto?
I think that a lot of people, they just kind of like stand and trade, or a lot of people don't have like that natural forward pressure that I have, and so I think that I'll drown Lyoto in that forward pressure and go out there and get a finish.
So easy saying this is a good stylistic matchup for you, right, Eryk?
Yeah, I think the styles definitely match up in my favor. Just because I'm always coming forward with pressure, and I think his last fight, Lyoto, he started to move forward against Derek Brunson.
Yeah.
So maybe he was worried about the takedown a little bit. I'm not sure. When he backs up, he gets really tall, and that single leg is right there. Now I really don't know what to expect with Lyoto. If he's gonna come give me pressure, or if he's gonna back up and try and lull me to sleep. Either way, I'll be prepared to with whatever he brings to the table.
For sure.
And how do you pull the trigger under that type of pressure? Because I think that's something that you bring that a lot of guys don't. You pull the trigger when you see those really deadly exchanges, when a lot of guys kind of back away. A lot of guys like to walk the fence, kind of maybe sprint maybe 2 feet and kind of get back to back to the rhythm. But you really take it to them. How do you train with stuff like that?
I don't know. I think it just comes naturally. I just kind of wait, and when I see an opening, I go. And it's just a trained reaction, and it's just the way I am.
Do you feel you are making the right strides, Eryk? Well, we talked about this yesterday that people didn't get to hear, especially by main eventing in your third UFC fight. Not a lot of people get to do that. Do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it shows a lot of confidence on the UFC's part for me as well. To actually take me seriously and accept the fight against Lyoto Machida and make it happen. So I think that the UFC likes what they see in my fights, and they're trying to get behind me a little bit.
I believe so as well. You're a monster striking off of clinch breaks, and your dirty boxing is really nice too, man. You control people completely. Is that something you specifically work on in camp?
I train all aspects of the fight. The clinch on the feet, on my back against the cage. Turning people. Working takedowns off the fence. Doing jujitsu off my back, doing jujitsu on top, wrestling. I don't leave any stones unturned in my training. And that's because you never know what's going to happen in a fight. You don't know where you're going to be or what's going to happen. Very easily you can be dominating a fight and slip, and now you're on your back, or you can get taken down, or I'm sure Lyoto has new tricks up his sleeves. He may come out there and try and wrestle. So, I'm very prepared wherever the fight takes place, and I just kind of take the easiest path. Sometimes it is the clinch. That Marcus Perez, I wanted to wear him down, lean on him a little bit, and was definitely searching for the finish. Rafael Natal, he had the most takedowns in middleweight history. So, I definitely knew that he was going to look for the takedown, and he always backed up and put his back against the fence, and watching film. His defense wasn't good when he was in a left-handed stance. So, I just waited to switch to a left-handed stance, and that's when, in all of our exchanges were when he was in a left-handed stance. So, they say patience is a virtue, and I have a lot of that. So, me and Lyoto, we got 25 minutes to figure out who's the best fighter. So, there's certainly no rush on it.
And are you? I know you've gone 5 rounds before, so I think you're well prepared to go 5 rounds if it leads to that. Correct?
Yeah, absolutely. I fought 5 rounds. I know what it feels like. I believe that if me and Lyoto go 5 rounds, it'll be easier because he doesn't bring that wrestling pressure. So it's going to be all striking off from his All he's want to do is strike, and he's going to back up. So there'll be plenty of chances for me to, slow it down or speed it up and catch my breath if I need to. So, and he's fought 5 rounds a bunch of times. So I don't think any one of us are strangers to 5 round fights.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Anyone in the top 15, Eric, you got in mind who we'd like to fight after Machida? I'm sure you'll have like a number next to your name after this fight if you get the victory here. So you got anyone in mind?
David Branch doesn't have an opponent yet
I like that fight.
So, if that's the same, if the situation is the same and they haven't found him anybody and he still wants to get down, I'm down to
Wow.
fight. I think it's the 23rd or
24th, yeah.
The 24th. So, just 21 days after my fight. So we'll see how the Machida fight goes. Certainly not looking past him, but that David Branch fight is certainly enticing.
I think so as well. I think if you get Machida done rather quickly, we've seen you work already on 2 weeks' notice. 3 weeks' notice is not a problem, I think, especially going against David Branch is more of the only thing is David Branch is more of the jiu-jitsu guy, so you just have to switch up, I guess, the camp a little bit before getting ready for him.
And stop the takedown, keep my back off the fence. And,
yeah,
I think David Branch is very beautiful, and
I think so as well. His chin's got exposed a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so maybe the UFC will grant me another wish.
That'd be great.
The objective is certainly Lyoto at this point, and we'll see what happens with that, and see if I can't get David Branch in Orlando on the 24th.
All right.
You had a trip to Brazil not too long ago with your wife, and were you treated with open arms at the gyms, even though they knew you were fighting Machida? Like Machida's their hometown boy and everything. And who did you train with when you trained there?
Yeah, no, it was awesome. I really didn't want anybody to know that I was fighting, because you really never know, what kind of people you're going to run into. But it's impossible. I trained at Gracie Baja down there in Curitiba with Pimpollo.
Wow,
great spot.
A black belt.
Yeah.
Brazil. And the whole gym, kind of took me in with open arms the whole time I was down there. I also trained with Goichi Yamauchi, who's fighting.
Oh, yeah, he's fighting this weekend.
Yeah, this weekend.
Yeah, this weekend. And I trained with him every day, sparred with him and his uncle. And his training team took me in with open arms, and the support that I got there in Brazil was just amazing.
Yeah, for sure. I was seeing your Instagram. They looked like they treated you with some open arms, so it was nice to see you there.
Do you have a favorite fighter who you emulate when you go into the octagon, or even someone who you liked and enjoyed watching growing up?
I'm an active participant in the sport, so I don't have a favorite fighter. However, before I got into the sport, the Diaz brothers were my favorite. Frankie Edgar was a good, and man, I actually won some money betting on Lyoto Machida versus Shogun.
Oh wow!
College, so.
This is a sweet second victory against Lyoto. Then
So
that's
I'm a fan of the sport, and I appreciate what those guys bring to the table.
Yeah,
when they
for sure.
fight. Those guys always show up to fight, and especially the Diaz brothers and Frankie, and their resume speaks for itself.
Yeah, for sure. I'm a huge Diaz fan myself. Nick Diaz is probably one of my favorite fighters, if not my favorite. Do you personally think Machida should have took more time off of the Brunson knockout?
I'm not sure. I don't know how he feels. If his confidence is there, if he feels healthy and strong and ready to go, then I'm sure it's hard to turn down a fight in your hometown, especially if they've never been there before. So, he accepted the fight. So, how his body feels, how his chin feels, how all that, it's kind of irrelevant to me. I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna test it for sure though.
We like to ask this question to a lot of our people we have on. Who would you want to fight if you could fight anybody? And I mean, fictional or non-fiction.
Like characters,
Yeah.
anybody, like from a movie, it could be.
Uh, shoot, I don't know. Man,
It's a tough one, I know.
Yeah, I mean Bruce
that
is
is
part
tough.
of that.
Like a
That's
lot of
why.
people go with Bruce Lee, Chuck Norris,
Yeah.
Ali. We've had.
Oh man, it's got to be a wonderful fight, man. I'm not trying to take an L to
Yeah,
slap me with his feet, And Bruce Lee would be cool. I guess he'd definitely have to come up to 185. I could make 135. Or at least a little.
whatever he is, 135 exactly.
Maybe man. I would say the Terminator, but
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
T2000.
maybe the Predator. See
Oh,
what
yeah.
happened with Predator.
Yeah, that'd be a cool one too.
So I'm a big fan of those Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. So that's what the first thing that came to mind. So
Yeah,
I'd be able to give the Predator a run for his money.
for sure. I think so as well. That'd be a good fight, man. Predator versus
Oh yeah.
your boy over here.
See what takedown defense looks like.
Yeah, see what that's like exactly. So you mentioned last time and even right now that you're actually a movie goer. What's a good recommendation for the people watching right now to watch?
I just finished Hangman. It was pretty good, suspenseful. I always try to guess who, in those murder mysteries,
Yeah.
who the killer was, but I wasn't even close in this one. And then I just started another. Oh, Suburbicon.
Oh, how's that?
I just started, man. It's kind of funny, man. I'm
Yeah.
not sure if it's meant to be a comedy or what. It trips me out. So it seems to be, I haven't finished it yet, but it seems to be a pretty good movie.
For sure, and I know the kids like Phineas and Ferb, and you grown attached to that show as well with the platypus you were telling me. So
Oh yeah,
that's another one of Eric's favorites, guys.
Barry Platypus be tripping me out, man.
Yeah, you already know, my man. But thanks again for having me on. Eryk Anders will be fighting Lyoto Machida in UFC Bellum February 3rd. It was a pleasure to talk to you again, Eryk. Thanks again for coming on for the second time today and really making the interview again. We really appreciate it. If you have any sponsors you want to shout out or anything, the floor is yours, my man.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, you guys can find me on social media, Facebook and Twitter at Eryk Anders, ERYKANDERS, or on Facebook at Eryk Anders MMA. I want to thank all the people of Spartan, everybody who shows me love and support. Infinite CBD, awesome for recovery. Grunt Style, EW Motion Therapy, and Try One Cryotherapy.
All right, sounds good. Got a lot of sponsors there. Eryk. It looks like everybody wants to get on the Eryk Anders train.
Yeah, man. We're accepting all comers, so.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear for sure. It'd be nice to see if I know they have the Reebok deal and everything, but I'd love to see if sponsors came back and everything. I love the sponsors on the shorts.
Who would you like to take?
Oh, all the sponsors that he has now would be just nice on his shorts. The Infinite CBD, everything.
Yeah, I too would like to be out there and go out there and hunting for my own sponsors and whatever. But,
Yeah.
Company rules. So
yeah, it is what it is, man.
You'll find a way around it.
Yeah, they still love you and they still sponsor you, so that's good. It was great talking to you, Eryk, man. Like we said, it was truly a pleasure. You're a class act, my man, and all the best. God bless and good luck on February 3rd, my man.
I appreciate it, brother.
Take care.
Thank you.